Gyökeres is Arsenal's priority, not Sesko, says Alfredo Pindula. Forgive me for my mispronunciations. I think I speak for everyone when I say we're tired of speaking about Sesko or Gyökeres until either, if not both, of these players sign for Arsenal. Zinchenko's been linked with West Ham, and apparently Thomas Partey could be set to end his career at Arsenal, people, in a sense that he's calling it quits after 5 years. According to Italian transfer guru Alfredo Padula, forgive me for mispronunciations and forgive me for pouring some level of cold water. I don't know about the ITKs and who knows what they're talking about and who doesn't. But when I hear Italian transfer guru, I think Fabrizio Romano. He says Arsenal's first choice for the striker position is Viktor Gyökeres and not Benjamin Sesko. To be fair, it would correlate with apparently Berta being a big fan of Gyökeres. Obviously, Berta is Italian, maybe, you know, with you being from the same country and football being a close-knit circle, maybe you've got the word. Apparently, with Juventus needing the Gunners to pull out of the race to have a chance of signing the Sporting Lisbon star. As you lot know, he's been linked with Juventus and apparently turned down Real Madrid. The Gunners have made the signing of a top-class striker their number one priority for the summer transfer window. Arsenal have been in talks for both Gyökeres and Leipzig talent Sesko, but it's likely that they'll only be able to sign one of them. Most media outlets have claimed that Sesko is Arsenal's first choice for the role, which I believe, with Gyökeres the backup option. But Padula insists that the Swede is absolutely the priority for the Gunners. Padula says that Arsenal sporting director Berta much prefers Gyökeres over Sesko. That doesn't necessarily mean Arsenal are trying to get Gyökeres over Sesko, because, and in the same way, it doesn't mean just because we're led to believe Arteta likes Sesko, it doesn't necessarily make him the front runner. But anyways, he adds that negotiations for Gyökeres have been complicated by a war that has erupted between the player's entourage and his clubs over his asking price. Gyökeres' agent claims Sporting broker promised to sell him for less than 70 million euros, while obviously Sporting denied those claims. Juventus, who like clockwork, Vlahovic has been linked with both Manchester United and Arsenal. He's one of the highest earners in the league. I think Juventus is highest earner. He's got a year left on his deal, and it seems like they're going to call it quits. And we have also been linked with Osimhen, people, so that would be something to consider. Juventus consider him a dream. What specifically did this individual say? I've known for a month that the first choice for Arsenal in the striking position is Gyökeres. Then there were all the issues between the president of Sporting Lisbon and Gyökeres' agent. Andrea Berta, the new Arsenal sporting director, prefers Gyökeres over Sesko. Many say that Sesko is the first choice of Arsenal. This is not the news I have. Gyökeres is Arsenal's priority. Gyökeres is possible for Juventus if Arsenal withdraw from the race. Juventus cannot compete. He's also apparently wanted by Saudi pro leagues as well as Manchester United, and we're still linked with Benjamin Sesko. And apparently Real Madrid have turned down the chance to sign Gyökeres. If that's true, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. But apparently Real Madrid are looking for a striker in the Joselu kind of mold, in that they might be able to start, but they're probably primarily a bench player that can come in. Apparently that was a request of Xabi Alonso. So yeah, Real Madrid turned down the chance to sign Gyökeres. They prefer to look for a more Joselu type, and he's still actually linked with Atletico Madrid for what it's worth. Apparently, the latest is that he won't be allowed to leave for less than 80 million euros. Arsenal and Juventus are frontline to get the Swedish striker. Manchester United, Atletico Madrid, and Al Hilal being the clubs that can enter the race. So there's a lot of whispers. We've heard about Rodrigo, but apparently Mario Cortenaga, who I think works for the Athletic. Rodrigo ended the European season unhappy with his situation and has now attracted interest from several Premier League clubs, with Arsenal keeping a close eye on his situation. The player's father and agent is unwilling to enter into negotiations from now. Sources say Rodrigo's attitude since returning to training has been positive. Those sources say Alonso has been very attentive to him, showing him affection while also demanding a lot from the Brazilian. How the forward is used during the Club World Cup could be key to how the transfer window develops. Does anyone think Arsenal are getting Rodrigo? I'm over the Nico Williams, the Rafael, the Rodrigos, etc. Let's just move on to some other targets. Speaking of other targets, Xavi Simons, would you have him at Arsenal? He's told Leipzig that he wishes to leave this summer with only 2 years left on his contract. Leipzig broadly accept that this might be the right moment to part ways, but are determined to resist offers below 70 million euros, which is about 60 odd million quid. A centre back to support Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba is a signing Mikel Arteta would be happy to make. Gurhi is a player Arsenal like, but whether he would want to play second fiddle to first choice pairing could be an issue, says the Athletic. We did hear in terms of actually alternative targets, Arsenal are considering Antonio Nusa as another potential signing from Leipzig during talks for Benjamin Sesko. Multiple insiders in the industry have confirmed Arsenal's interest. However, it's not yet clear if Nusa, valued at 45 million euros, is a priority target. Arsenal and Chelsea have both held talks with Gerard Hato about a summer deal. The player believes Arsenal to be near perfect destination for his next step, but his camp are keen to keep the race open. I'm having Eze. He's attracting interest from Bayern Munich. With the season done, he's now available for 68 million pounds, which is his release clause. Any takers at that? AC Milan made an inquiry for Calafiori. They were rebuffed. AC Milan are now pursuing a move for Zinchenko. And although his 200 grand a week plus wages are a sticking point, they're ready to push to get a deal done. Keep that in mind. West Ham's shown interest in signing Arsenal player. 15 million euros could be enough. He's been linked with AC Milan and Dortmund and Atletico Madrid. Apparently, AC Milan are put off by Arsenal's demands of 15 million euros, which, to be fair, his wages or what he might get, which would be less than what he's on now, but still a lot, maybe puts them off. But come on now, man. For a guy that's got a year left on his deal, people, 15 million euros, which is about 12, 13 million pounds, which we knew is making a loss on Zinni anyways. It's more than fair. This could prove to be an opportunity for other clubs like West Ham, Ajax, Borussia Dortmund, who are keeping a close eye on the left back. Now, if I'm honest with you, it depends. Because from a family perspective, at 28 years of age, if your family's comfortable in London, if you're comfortable in London, you know, you're probably going to get more wages at West Ham than you might get foreign clubs. And obviously, West Ham's a good club. You could go West Ham. Dortmund, it must be crazy playing for that club in a good way. I can understand it. Ajax, it could make sense, people. And obviously, he's previously played for PSV on loan in Holland. So maybe that boosts the chances of a move to Holland or not. If he wants to go to Ajax, I mean, we just saw he's linked with Jarrell Hatto. Could we throw him in the deal in the same way that I know we're not getting Porto's Mora, very talented player? Could we throw Fabio Vieira back to them, knock some of the price off and keep it moving? The Arsenal player currently earns 5 million euros per season, but it's stated he would accept a drop from that figure. This should prove encouraging for West Ham, who certainly find themselves in a better financial position in the Premier League. The report claims Arsenal have constantly reiterated their desire to sell the Ukrainian international. Even though Milan are keen, they do not want to overpay due to Zinchenko's physical problems. What does that mean? The opportunity could therefore be available for Graham Potter's side, with the manager having previously shown a preference for versatile fullbacks during his time at Brighton and Chelsea, people. We have seen this reported before, but Arsenal and Chelsea are apparently monitoring Morgan Rogers' situation at West Ham very closely. Aston Villa. He's going to cost an arm and a leg. Put the money down or allow it. That kind of resurfaced because we were linked with him on the 5th of June. Gary Jacob, who worked on for the Times, has said we added him to our list of attacking targets. Any deal to acquire the player from West Ham would prove... Why do I keep saying West Ham? Aston Villa would prove costly. Thomas Partey is apparently set to depart. He's set to leave Arsenal, according to reports in Turkey. He's actively looking for a new club, and Fenerbahce have been offered the chance to sign him. Now, does that mean talk is off? Does this mean he's probably going to sign a new deal? Because there's a lot of rumors, or is this a journalist trying to get every last bit of a potential rumor about Thomas Partey in the name of engagement out there? Would you let Partey go? Apparently, Laporte has interest from several clubs: Atletico Bilbao, Marseille, Aston Villa, Inter Milan, Napoli, and as you can see here, people, Arsenal Football Club. I'll have to see that. Jamie Gittins is subject to interest from Arsenal and obviously bids from Chelsea. With the Nico Williams and the Rodrigo things looking like a myth, naturally, Jamie Gittins was name dropped by David Ornstein, a player we admire. We're planning to make a move for Gittins. After understanding Williams' wage demands are too high, as revealed last week, and with the Spanish winger now in talks with Barcelona, the Gunners have decided to shift their focus. As reported, Kenan Yildiz from Juventus is also a target, but the Italian club is working on a contract renewal and has no intention to sell him this summer unless very high offers are made. Now Gittins is becoming one of Arsenal's priorities. The Borussia Dortmund winger is highly appreciated by Mikel Arteta. Internal discussions are ongoing. Dortmund's asking price is 60 million euros. Chelsea are still in the race. The Blues strongly tried to sign him before the Club World Cup and already have a long-term agreement in place with the player, valid for 7 years. However, Arsenal are now ready to increase the pressure in the coming days, hoping to understand the conditions of a potential deal. Talks are at an early stage, but Arsenal are serious about Gittins and could move quickly if the right opportunity arises. The battle between Chelsea and Arsenal is heating up, really. In relation to Kepa, Matt Law has said Kepa to Arsenal is basically done. My initial information was he didn't want to be a backup, having been playing every week at Bournemouth. There was interest for some good teams to make him number one, so that surprised me that he would be up for that. I mean, when Arsenal knock, it's different, isn't it?